About the Tabletop Super Show. About the Tabletop Super Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Tabletop Super Show. I'm Stevie Ray. We're delighted to have in the studio with us today miniature painter, hobbyist, Battletech connoisseur, and fellow YouTube content creator Tuck Davian of Battlebound YouTube channel.
Very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome. We're delighted to have you. Tuck's going to be running us through his format scenario, Battletech Legends.
Legends, baby!
And we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at some of his beautiful terrain and his handcrafted board here in a bit, and have him talk a little bit about the Battletech Legends scenario. And so maybe if you guys want to run it at home, you might be able to. But before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and run Tuck through the interview process.
The gauntlet, baby. We're going to have to run it.
Basically want to find out a little bit about Tuck's hobby journey.
Oh boy.
Because that's kind of stuff we're all interested in. So Tuck, first question.
Hit me.
What was your first tabletop gaming experience?
That would, I mean, if you're not counting like Monopoly and stuff like that, Battletech was it. I started at 13. It's so funny, one of the guys we have here in the studio today, I lovingly call the person I said no to. Because when he first came to me with it, I was a teenager. I was 13 years old. I didn't know nothing about this. And it was all very much too soon. And so I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know about all that. And then, I don't know, maybe like a year later, a buddy of mine named Marcos came to me and had put the same idea over to me. And I was like, I don't know about that. I've had this other experience. And he goes, no, man, don't worry about it. We're going to go back to my house. We'll kick it in the garage. It'll be cool. Don't worry about it. Okay. So, he took me back there and taught me, and then the rest is history. And so then I ended up circling back around to, Puck and saying, all right, let's get this going.
Nice.
So, and I never looked back. Battletech was the first and arguably probably the last that I really care to have.
Okay, so this might answer the next question I have for you. The first miniature or miniature line you painted?
Battletech, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It was a hunchback. I remember it well.
Oh, it was a hunchback.
It was a hunchback.
What's your favorite paint brand or brands, and why?
I like to kind of run the gamut. I have paints from either Vallejo, I got Citadel, I've got Privateer Press stuff in my collection, I've got the Army Painter Speed paints. Right now I'm really liking working with the contrast paint because I feel like there is kind of like a myth that contrast paint is only for newbies or only for beginners, and I don't buy that. I think that somebody of any skill level can use these and make it look cool.
Oh, yeah. I love using contrast paints as like filters and for doing recess shading.
For sure.
Okay, this may answer this. Besides Battletech, are there any other tabletop games that you play or are interested in?
Well, okay, I'll tell you what, that is a good question, because I have told people left and right, if you do like I do for Battletech with whatever miniature game it is that you play, I will come play it if I don't have to provide anything, if I don't have to buy anything. If I show up and you've got all the stuff ready to go, yeah, sure, I'm your Huckleberry, teach me. I've wanted to learn Flames of War for a little bit just because I thought that looked cool. Conflict 47 looks kind of neat. If somebody had like an army and they wanted to teach me, I'd totally get into that. I've got an idea for a video series where I try different things, and one of them is going to be Warhammer 40K. So yeah, sure, just for my bucket list. Okay, I did it, I tried it.
Okay. You sound like you're sort of a tabletop agnostic, so that's cool.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I've got my one-armed man, and I'm perfectly happy with that for the rest of my life, but if I can get my shots in somewhere else, and it's an easy in, easy out kind of situation, I'd be down to do it.
Awesome. Okay. If any, what are your go-to brushes or brands?
Oh, gosh, I have a paint store, not a paint store, like a novelty store in town called the Hussar, and they have these great horsehair brushes that you can get there, and I don't think you can get them anywhere else. You get them at the Hussar, and we all us nerds in town just know it. And so I like to start there. I don't got any hate for the Citadel brushes. I like them just fine. Army Painter is another one. I like to use their Regiment brush for base coating.
Oh yeah, that's a sable brush. It's a red sable.
I love their chiseled dry brushes. The slanted ones.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're trying to get into a little, whereas the Citadel ones are all blocky, and the one that has the little slide up it, I love those.
Yeah, I have those.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Okay, oil or acrylic wash?
I believe, is the Citadel Shades oil?
No.
Okay, are they acrylic?
Yes.
Because that's what I stick with. I go with the Citadel washes. I've used contrast paint before as wash. So,
they're great for that.
yeah, but I definitely am all about the Citadel washes.
So your answer would be acrylic.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question's kind of a funny one. It's bang, marry, kill, but for painting techniques. So
I hope I know them all.
bang, marry, kill.
All right.
Dry brushing, recess shading, freehand.
Oh man. Let's see. Got to bang dry brushing because that just makes shit pop. Mary, I'll probably go with freehand and kill recess shading.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Any quick tips for painting BattleTech miniatures for somebody that's just starting out?
Contrast paints are your best friend. Don't shy away from them. Like I say, they're not just for beginners. If you want to go the airbrush route, you can do that. But I'm not an airbrush guy. I'm a horsehair brush guy. So that's where I'd start. Just get yourself either or that or the Army Painter speed paints. But very soon, BattleTech Catalyst Game Labs will be coming out with their own BattleTech paint set, where it's like named Merrick Purple or something like that.
Now I know next month they're having an exclusive at Target CGL for the new beginner box that's based on Solaris 7.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get that.
I'm gonna get it.
The main reason I'm gonna get it is because if I go to conventions, that's what I'm gonna run. I'm gonna have evened out battle value mechs and let people pick it out and just slap them into the arena and see what happens. I'm also interested maybe even building a small arena terrain for that, which it seems like it'd be fun to do.
See, that's kind of the object of Legends, is it was something like that before I knew that existed.
now, I've actually gotten back into BattleTech myself after, I started in the middle of the 80s with the original game of Armored Combat. And we've gotten back into it, and I'm running kind of a loose narrative campaign at the moment, monthly. In fact, we're meeting again Friday to do that. And so I've been having a lot of fun with it. So definitely a fan of the game, fan of the lore, fan of the miniatures. And I just got one more question for you.
Up?
And it's another bang, marry, kill.
Oh boy.
And this is this time layering, glazing, highlighting.
Kill layering. Anything else? I'd bang glazing. I think I could do that, but I would marry highlighting. That was the other one, right? Yeah, I would marry that because the highlighting, that's the dry brushing, and that's for me anyway. That's what I do, and that's just my favorite part where I can take something from this is cool to now I like it.
All right. So now if you spend a minute or two and explain to us your format scenario, BattleTech Legends.
Great. BattleTech Legends is for any skill level of player, and they are able to join in or get out at any point in time that they want. So there's no you have to be here when this starts kind of thing. It's you show up, roll a mech, you're in there on the next turn. It's a play on the classic grinder format, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but you roll up a mech, and then you go out onto the table via whatever rules that person has come up with. Once you get exploded, you roll up a new mech, you get back in the action on the following turn. So with a player that wanted to come up and join, for example, all you'd have to do is say, cool, roll up your mech, and here it is, on the following turn you're in. And then if you decide you're done, you don't want to play anymore, great, you just exit and you're good. The idea there being that you have only some of the most infamous names of the Inner Sphere and the clans behind the sticks here. So you're not dealing with high gunnery skills, so there's going to be a lot of hitting. When you're at a convention, when you're trying to get new players into the game, hitting is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be a lot of falls either because the piloting skills are also similarly low. So you're not going to have a lot of catastrophic failure either. You're going to be getting in there, mixing it up with some of the most badass pilots of the lore and getting your shots in, getting explosions, having that happen. And there's going to be random spawn points on the table. So whenever you get blown up, you roll your new mech, you roll your spawn point, boom, that's where you show up. You can come in behind two guys that are already, really hurting for certain, and you just pow, pow, put them both away. At the convention, StrategiCon this weekend, what we're doing is we're giving away prizes. So you get a headshot, it's good for something, or you kill somebody, that's good for something. I'll throw you a force pack, or we'll do a double round where a headshot is good for double prizes, and you'll get dice and a miniature, and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a game show at a convention, but you can run this at your house for just your friends if you're wanting to get kind of like a popcorn game in where you've been playing serious stuff for 6 months and you just need a mental break. Take these, throw them in there, go at it. There's no holds barred.
So hopefully I can get an FAQ from Tuck so that of the 2d6 rolls and stuff like that.
I have a whole list.
We can go ahead and put the link down there in the description. I'm also going to leave a link if you guys are interested to Battlebound itself. That will also be in the description as well. So from here, the interview portion's done, and we're going to go ahead and click on over to taking a look at that terrain build that he's handcrafted and check out some of his minis.
Fantastic.
All right. Hey guys, I just want to take a moment to thank Tuck for coming in and running his BattleTech Legends scenario. Dude, it was a blast. It was really fun just to slap mechs down, roll to see what kind of mech and pilot you got, slap them on the mat, just hit after hit, blowing each other's mechs up, ejecting when we wanted to switch out mechs. It was a blast. And it's something that if you're interested in BattleTech and want a very fast play format of it using the original rules, it's something that I would definitely look into trying out. I also wanted to mention a couple things. One, if you just have, the paper mats that come with the box set of Game of Armored Combat, you can totally run this scenario. You don't need to have a giant board to do it. This can be played on a hex grid, or it can be played hexless. Another thing I want to mention is the spawn points. Now, around the mat, using D10 and ignoring 10, you want to place 9 separate spawn points in a way that they aren't too close together. And so that way, when you roll your mech, you basically roll that afterwards, and that decides where the mech's going to appear on the mat grid. I also want to take a moment to thank Tuck's friend Will for the really awesome time-lapse video that he made for this of them assembling the awesome terrain that he was using. As always, if you guys enjoyed this, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And that's all I got for you guys this time. So until the next time, happy painting, happy hobby time, and happy gaming.